In other news, that legislation to crack down on expensive energy bills is being introduced to Parliament today.
The government says it will protect 11 million people from paying high tariffs, but there are concerns it will reduce competition among suppliers. Steph has more details.
The bill is an admission that encouraging consumers to regularly switch energy suppliers hasn't been as successful as hoped. Around a third of UK households pay default energy tariffs, which are usually the most expensive. But from next winter, new legislation will allow the energy regulator Ofgem to limit how much companies can charge customers for standard variable tariffs. The price cap will be in force until at least 2021. The government says the domestic gas and electricity bill will benefit up to 11 million people who could make, on average, annual savings of up to £300. Energy UK, which represents gas and electricity suppliers, said it was vital the cap didn't stifle competition in the energy market.
This is particularly relevant this week, Steph, isn't it? Because we know there's a really big cold snap on the way, or cold week. It's not going to happen for a while, but it's significant.
Yes, it is significant. And it's something we've seen happen with prepayment meters, a cap basically on the standard variable rate, because often it's the poorest people in society who end up on these rates. So what we're seeing from this is an extension of it. So it's not just about prepayment meters or people who use the warm home discount, which are the current people who get this cap on the standard variable rate. It will now apply to everyone on a standard variable rate. But this is just being looked at the moment, so it's some time before it will come in. But yeah, it would make a big difference. There's 11 million households on the standard variable rate. And this is the rate that a lot of people end up on when their deal comes to an end, or they don't choose to go on a deal. And it is often the most expensive. And it's because the government is saying we just aren't switching. There's some really interesting facts on this as well, because some research was done and more than half of people don't even know that you can switch energy supplier. So there's still
we talk about it all the time.
I know we do talk about it all the time, but I guess for lots of people, they just think, it's going to be much of a muchness, whoever I'm with. So it is a lot to do with competition as well. And there are some concerns, though, that this might hinder competition, because if there's a cap on standard variable rates, then people won't switch because they'll think everyone's the same, and therefore the energy companies won't have any incentive to try and get your custom by reducing prices. So there's some concern about that. But on the whole, this is to try and make sure people are just not paying too much for their energy bills.
Very interesting, and interesting timing as well from some point of view. Thank you.
Yeah, as you say, this week with it being so cold, because parts of the UK will feel cold in the Arctic Circle over the next few days.